MultiVersus, you know, the game where you can play as Ultra Instinct Shaggy against Batman, or something like that.
Alrighty, MultiVersus. It's finally out. Version 1.0 has launched. For those who don't remember, this game was sort of in early access slash open beta mode from
I do not remember at all.
July of 2022 to June of 2023. The game then went offline to prepare for what eventually became a May 28th, 2024 full release and official launch. And so far, how's that going? Well, recall that MultiVersus, prior to its final launch, it did see a big peak, but then those player numbers dwindled quite a bit. This is what player numbers looked like back in February.
Oh wow! So you're telling me this was one of those early access games that were actually already launched? Got it.
February of 2023. The game fell off quite hard, but it did peak at a rather high number of concurrent players once upon a time. And so the question now remains, will MultiVersus, with its final launch, be able to retain its player base rather than losing more than 99% of its player base post-launch? I think to achieve that, they will really have to improve on what was in the beta in terms of features and gameplay and aspects that people had problems with. As for how it's looking right now, well, it's still the launch period, and the game has peaked at over 100,000 players, 114,000, which is not
Okay, at least it's some kind of comeback, which is nice, I guess.
not bad for a re-release, and it's still drawing in tens of thousands of players. Whether that will last, though, we'll see over the next couple of days. But when it comes to reception from players, I'd say that there's mixed feedback surrounding the game right now. In fact, if you look at recent reviews of the game on Steam, it is currently sitting at a mixed score of 6.
Oh jeez, look at that. Oh, people are gonna try and do things to Velma.
61%. The overall reviews are leaning towards the positive side, while people are having fun, and there's certainly always going to be a really cool novel
Wait, so what? This is Super Smash Bros? Okay. Okay.
to seeing frickin' Super Shaggy battling it out with Superman and Warner Brothers properties in a fighting game in this shared universe. People are still going to scrutinize the features, modes, gameplay, and monetization of this free-to-play Super Smash Brothers like, and there are plenty of complaints right now that people are putting out there. In fact, many seem to have the impression that this game was more feature complete and in some respects better in the beta than it is in the final release, which is why if you go to the MultiVersus
Oh man, if someone can even say that in the first place, that's bad.
subreddit, for example, you'll find plenty of top comments that are complaining about
Wait. Let's look at the roster. What do we have here? What do we have
top
here?
comments.
Okay, we have the Iron Giant, Taz. Okay, Velma. Okay. Arya Stark, Batman, Bugs Bunny, who is literally OP in a fifth dimensional being, Finn the Human, Garnet, Harley Quinn, another lazy ass Harley Quinn. Okay, Jake the dog, Rain Dog. Okay, Shaggy, Steven Universe, Superman, Tom and Jerry as one character, Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's just like and more revealed soon. That's not an impressive amount of characters. That's very unimpressive, to be honest, to a certain degree. Like, okay, who the hell wants to play as whatever this is? Is this from from Steven Universe? I'm not sure. I think they're from the same. Or is this from that? Oh wait, the Finn from the Human is not Steven Universe. I don't know. Pretty layman who honestly cares. So I mean, this looks like a very, very special roster. You know what I'm saying?
That are complaining about how certain changes feel like a step back from the beta, and the expectation from a final launch is that it'll be better than the beta. So here's one particular Reddit post that's highlighting some of the areas where this game in the final release feels like a regression. So right here, there is a gameplay section that bullet points how there's no more grounded neutral air. The camera zooms in far too often. There's no leaderboards now. No after battle report, aka damage done and ring outs. You can't see.
Oh man, dude. How did they make these decisions? This is not the first time a game that should have a after game stat screen doesn't have an after game stat screen. Dude, every time that people can actually, get a score and be good, people want to see themselves getting a score and being good, okay? That's why people use DPS add-ons in Lost Ark even though it's bannable.
Who accepted/declined a rematch. When it comes to modes, they've actually removed certain features. There's no more co-op gameplay versus AI. There's no offline play anymore, and there's no free-for-all mode with items. Then there's training mode, which once upon a time allowed you to play as characters you haven't unlocked and paid for, so you could test them out before deciding whether it's a character you want to pursue and unlock or prioritize. Now you can no longer play as characters you don't own in local play and training. You can't change your controller settings in the training room anymore, which seems like a convenient feature.
That seems just stupid, but okay.
That you wouldn't want to remove. More full loading screens when changing settings/start positions. No advanced tutorial mode. And then when it comes to the economy/progression and the monetization, no more cheaper characters. So every character now is 3,000 to 6,000 premium currency, whereas before you see prices are closer to like 1,500. No non-glemium skins. No more battle pass XP after every match. We can only level up the battle pass from challenges now. So the way you progress and the way you unlock stuff through gameplay has been nerfed and made worse.
That's dumb. Oh yeah, this sounds like an absolute just disaster on every aspect. Oof. The fact that you had once the ability to go practice with a character you did not own can only be removed for one reason, and that is so people can't buy the wrong character, so they need to buy another character with money. That's why companies do this.
In the final release, which seems like a very corporate thing to do so that they can incentivize people to spend more rather than play more. No toast back if someone toasts you after you've left a post-match screen. You have to use your character tickets if you got them, presumably also battle pass tickets. You can't choose to pay character currency or glemium. And even in an area like settings, it feels like there are features that have been removed, conveniences that have been backtracked on for no good reason. No option to remove team colors in battle. No ability to swap neutral and side attacks. Can't remove or lower buffering of inputs. Can't change the game's language in the settings. So many are like, what the heck? Why have they excluded all of these elements in the final release? Stuff
that seems a lot of stupid choices. What the hell?
Stuff that people enjoyed during the beta, stuff that people found convenient. And when it comes to monetization, it just feels like a worse version of what was there before, like a greedier version of it. Another top post just straight up says that the beta was in a better state, highlighting some of the areas where it feels like the game has regressed. Here's another top post saying that, am I crazy, or did they spend a year and end up removing more features than they added? There's also the sense that the gameplay and feel of this fighting game hasn't been improved a whole lot. This game, while it is a Super Smash Brothers like, it certainly lacks the polish and the responsiveness and just the feel that Super Smash Brothers has. This is a formula that, Masahiro Sakurai and the team have been working on and mastering for many, many years, and they, really got it down with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. This game tries to replicate that, but it still feels certainly in many ways.
Well, good thing I never even heard about this game before, because it seems kind of bad. The reality currently is like, why would you want a different Super Smash Bros. Game if you have Super Smash Bros? Okay? If you don't like Call of Duty, that's fine, but if you don't like Super Smash Bros, why would you want a different Super Smash Bros. Game? These things are kind of strange, in my opinion.
Ways inferior compared to the feeling that Super Smash Brothers accomplishes with just the weightiness of characters and hits and just how it feels like to move characters around and how it feels like to fight. Super Smash Brothers just has that down in a way that I feel like no other game of this genre does. MultiVersus feels like a jankier version of Super Smash Brothers in a lot of ways, and people were hoping that within the year that they had since the beta closed, that they would reach something closer to the polish of Super Smash Brothers when it comes to the overall feel of the game. but many feel like that just doesn't feel like the case. Here's one more top post in the MultiVersus subreddit sharing similar sentiments, stating this feels more like a beta than the actual beta, highlighting exactly the same things that that bullet list did when it comes to features that they missed.
So chances are this game is just gonna, well, implode on itself in a matter of most likely what is gonna be days at this point. When it comes back from a peak of 150k with 70, I mean, that's not too great, and all of the people are leaving kind of negative comments about it, and people are saying, yeah, this is worse than it was what it was previously. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna survive more than like 1-2 weeks maybe.
That they feel shouldn't have been removed, where it just feels like it doesn't make sense for that stuff to not be there in the final release when it was in the beta. There are entire posts dedicated to specific removed features, like the fact that you no longer can play as characters you don't own in local play and training, which just feels kind of scummy, and it feels like it's meant to incentivize people to spend money. It just feels kind of petty. And
what do you mean feels like? It definitely is that. There's not even two questions about this. This has only one use, and that use is to get you to shill up that cash.
Stingy to not let people try out a character in a mode that has absolutely no influence when it comes to competing with other players. Like, training is a very isolated thing. At the very least, let people try out what they might be buying or grinding for, especially when they're so expensive or when they require such a significant amount of grind. And then a major aspect of a Super Smash Bros. Style game is the couch co-op experience. It's the communal aspect of getting people together and being able to play with them offline, but a lot of people feel like with the way they regress on that front with the final release, they essentially killed the offline scene by removing the complete offline roster. Super Smash Bros. Is often...
Well, yeah, but that's probably, again, exactly what they want to do. If people are going to play offline and they have access to everything, why would they pay money? And this company likes money. And they want money. So, of course, they're going to prohibit all of that garbage, because how would otherwise they, say it together, get money? Exactly. They wouldn't. So, this is, well, not a thing that should be nice, but it makes sense at least. You know what I'm saying?
Seen as almost like a party game that can be very competitive, but encourages people to actually gather physically. And the fact that MultiVersus has kind of essentially killed that aspect of this game just isn't ideal for a game of this genre, this type of fighting game specifically. Even character portraits feel like a regression. Once upon a time, MultiVersus had these 2D portraits that were gorgeous to look at, and now with this generic...
What is this trash? Holy, that looks bad. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at Arya Stark. Look at this Arya Stark compared to the last one, okay? Damn, boy. Wow. They don't even actually tell you what each name is? Dude, this is the laziest intern shit I have ever seen in my life. Oh yeah, this game is gonna die in a week. Not even 2.
The model kind of character portrait situation going on here, they just look so much more generic than they did before. A lot of people miss what they did here and wish that they had...
Well, but they did at least get Rick.
This aspect. Others are baffled by some of the types of challenges that they introduced this game, and now challenges are...
What a shithole.
The only way to progress through the battle pass and whatnot. One of the challenges that people don't like is the requirement for you to bring another player with you into battle, which is harder to do now because they essentially removed offline play and couch co-op and couch play. So this just makes it not particularly...
It's just one of those things that the developers added so people can't get past it unless they buy a battle pass level. It's just that simple.
The ideal situation for those who maybe just don't have the capability to bring other players into battle. Maybe they just don't have other players who play this game. And so for those people, they're essentially locked off from completing this particular challenge. Others are begging that the developers implement the progression system that the beta had, where you can just level up the battle pass by playing instead of having to complete these challenges.
No, that sounds like not much money.
A lot of people feel like this is just a less satisfactory version of the progression system that was there in the beta. And this is very much an element that we have seen other free-to-play games try to implement. I think Halo Infinite, if I recall, had a system where progression was done solely through challenges, and that didn't go well. So for MultiVersus,
Well, yeah, but nothing with Halo has gone well. It's a complete trash pile.
just to implement something similar just feels very short-sighted. And then there are entire threads dedicating to discuss.
Oh shit! You get an agent skin from Matrix. Nice. Ooh.
Discussing the monetization and progression system of the game, just how costly it is to.
Dude, do you think this is just a random agent, or is this actually supposed to be Smith? Oh, it is Smith. Autism.
How costly it is to unlock characters and content in this game, or
Dude, do you think you can get the 2024 Velma skin? Jesus, that would be amazing.
or how much grind and time it would actually take to unlock stuff in this game. You can kind of read this post for yourself. I link it in the description below if you want to do a deep dive. But yeah, it is this whole basically essay trying to explain exactly how this complicated monetization system.
I mean, I don't need an essay to sell me on the idea that this game is not going to have more than a week's worth of lifespan. Absolutely no way. Anyway, that was Younger Yair, and, well, you know what this is.
Stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys
Young
next
Yeah.
time.
Young Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, that was Quizzer Citizen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.